That's exactly what I saw when I pulled in the pits.
Boris Said at work. Won the 24 Hours of Daytona. Went up and ran the 12 Hours of Sebring. Very accomplished road racer. And he's found quite a coach in Ernie Irvan. They have quite a relationship. They spend a lot of time on the phone when they're not at the same racetrack together on a weekend. You're looking back from Boris Said's truck.
And that's Rich Bickle just behind him there in the 17 truck.
Mike Bliss in the 2, the blue truck right behind Bickle.
Now, Boris Said did not stop on that caution flag. Nor did Lance Norrick and Ron Hornaday and Rob Rizzo. So 3 of the top 5 drivers did not stop. And in truck racing, when you don't take on tires, there's no big, huge advantage of trucks coming out of the pits on new rubber and blasting up through the field. Doesn't happen here.
You can see Bliss, we're riding with him now down the back straightaway. You can see he has good straightaway speed getting in the corner there. He closes up about a half a truck length. Bickle now starting down towards the front straightaway. They're very, very even.
Hello, here's Jack Sprague.
That's a look-see that didn't happen there.
What do you feel like when somebody gets into you like that?
Well, you know they're there, and you're kind of anticipating it. So these two guys have raced enough against each other. They're going to do that just to get out of the mirror and make you wonder where they're at anyway.
Is that like a boxer just kind of pushing off, just kind of measuring the other fighter?
Exactly right.
Like that?
Where's he at? I don't see him in the mirror. Is he right or left? And all of a sudden you feel a little touch back here. Hey, I'm still here.
No biting, Jack. All right. Mike Bliss has just passed Rich Bickle there. Close there. Mike Bliss on the move. Jimmy Smith's Ford.
He was the pole sitter.
Back up front, Sprague to the inside. And Hornaday to the inside.
Now that is a Dale Earnhardt move right there. Hornaday's learned well, but you can see Sprague didn't give up. He stayed in the throttle on the outside, went right back in the lead.
And on the left side of your screen, you saw Kenny Irwin Jr. coming back into the race.
You know, one advantage of pitting early, if you do have enough fuel to go the rest of the way, is that if your truck needs an adjustment, get it early so that you can go on out and make up some time. Ralph Shaheen?
Ned, all this racing up front with Jack Sprague might all be for naught. Rob Rizzo's crew chief, Mike Albernaz, has just told me on that last restart, Jack Sprague passed them on the inside before the start-finish line. They have complained to NASCAR. If NASCAR agrees and goes along with that, that would mean a stop-and-go penalty for Jack Sprague and the end of him up front.
Wow. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, we don't see a flag, and it looks like Sprague's in the lead to me.
And most of the time, those type penalties are called right as soon as it happens.
You can see Bliss now working on Boris Said, and right behind him, Bickle. These guys are really racing very, very close to the flat part of this racetrack. If you touch somebody right there, the back of that truck does not weigh 10 pounds. I guarantee you'll turn you right around.
Mike Bliss had a tough outing last week in Bristol. He is underneath Boris Said. That's the fast way around here. Start-finish line, turn 1. Oh, Said tries to get back in line. Rich Bickle's there.
Be careful. But he did. Rich Bickle was careful because he's the points leader. Had to think of the big picture there for a moment. Smart driving.
Give and take.
That's
no penalty on Jack.
Excuse me, that's Butch Miller there in the 20 truck. He had damage in the first part of the race. You can see he's really off the pace right now. Usually Butch Miller's the front runner.
And no penalty on Jack Sprague, we're told. From the folks over at NASCAR, the officials booth. Looking back from the Team ASE Ford of Mike Bliss. And Jack Sprague is our leader over Ron Hornaday and Lance Norrick. CBS Sports coverage continues after this message and a word from your local station. Has moved up. Boris Said is backing up. Here's a look at the two leaders, Jack Sprague and Ron Hornaday. Sprague has made his gas stop. Hornaday has not. Separation remains about even between those two. Here's Boris Said. He is backed up to just in front of Jimmy Hensley, and Ned, you saw it looked like he might have had a tire going down. He got so high up on the racetrack a couple of laps ago while we were in break.
Well, it did. He went into turn 4 and skidded very high, almost hit the wall. He did a good job of keeping it off the wall, but he might have had a little bit of help going. There were a lot of trucks that ran very close together going into that turn, and just the slightest bump, as Buddy has mentioned earlier, will soon be sliding, and that might have happened.
Ned, I've always wondered, why do we call that help? It's anything but.
Well, it helped him to get in the slide.
No, that's the end of everything when you get touched in the race car.
Said has fallen to 12th place. Dick Berggren has more.
Well, as far as Boris Said is concerned, his crew doesn't know what's wrong either. He has had a bit of trouble adjusting to this racetrack, which is quite a surprise because Said is an expert road racer. His strategy this morning was to be patiently aggressive. One of the great goals, don't crash the truck. He has not done that all year long, and right now he is just trying to hang on to her, and they'll adjust it when they come back in here at the 100 lap point. Mike?
Thanks, Dick. MCI award goes to truck number 2, Mike Bliss, on lap 10. He lapped the track at 124 miles per hour, fastest lap by a leader in the early going here.
Still a good race here for 3rd. Or no, that's back for 6th now, isn't it?
Right. Lance Norrick leading Tony Raines in the yellow truck. He and Michael Dockett have been almost hitched together for this entire race, the 2 Dodge teammates. Chuck Bound moving in. That purple and black Ford. And right with him, Stacy Compton.
Raines in the yellow truck, the Dodge. He's trying his best to find a way around Lance Norrick.
You see Chuck Bound there in the 99 truck, able to run very, very low. These are some trucks we hadn't talked about very much. This is that was the Richard Childress number 3 truck by Jay Sauter.
Let's check with Ralph.
Mike Bliss is coming up through the field. He is all the way up to 3rd now. Barry Dodson, his crew chief, didn't want to tighten him up too much because tightening up the truck burns fuel because you end up working on and off the gas because the truck will tend to push up into the turns. They are hoping that the track will get tighter later on, so they want to try to keep Mike as loose as they possibly can out here today.
Bliss was 2nd in Miami, 3rd in Phoenix, but only has 1 top 5 since, that coming in Texas. Riding with Mike Bliss, or rather now with Ron Hornaday.
You see Ron's right foot there. He's down on the throttle down as he goes in. You can see him left foot on the brake right there. He's out of the throttle. Now back down nice and easy. Does not break the rear tires loose. You can see him just kind of using that brake very gingerly there. Not really jumping on it.
This will orient you to Hornaday's position on the racetrack as he comes down the back straightaway and here into turn number 4.
Yeah, you can see him using a little more brake as he gets into turn 4 there. Now you see his right foot down, not really slamming it down. You have to get back in the throttle pretty easy. Now he's out of it. Use the brake there. He's going through turn 1, heading for the walkover there. You see him going through turn 2. Really into the throttle, kind of milking it there, not all the way wide open, kind of easing off just enough to make the truck turn through turn 3. Now he's going down the back straightaway. You can see wide open there. Now watch him when he gets down here. He's into the corner now. He's back on the throttle, starting towards turn 5, and now down the front straightaway. That's 1 full lap here at Nazareth.
Thank you, Professor Baker.
Wasn't that fun?
Hornaday's in 2nd spot behind Jack Sprague, about 1 second behind. Mike Bliss about 4 seconds back of them. Moving up on Toby Butler, driving Kenny Schrader's truck.
Toby just a little bit off speed right now. You can see Hornaday making the move, and you see that Toby Butler did not put up any resistance. He moved to the outside. That comes back to you later on when you're running good, and maybe Hornaday's off a little bit.
So Jack Sprague leads from Ron Hornaday. 2 Chevys leading 2 Fords here at Nazareth. Lance Norrick is in the wall out of turn number 3.
And what a timely caution this could be for Ron Hornaday, who has not pitted yet for fuel. Neither had Lance. I don't believe that he had pitted either.
No,
but he didn't want to be the caution. He wanted one, but he didn't want to be it.
Boy, that's too bad. Lance Norrick was running along in 6th place there. Probably got on the outside there, got into the outside wall pretty hard, I'll tell you.
What happened here?
Okay, he gets right there. He gets a little bit of a touch there from
Stockton.
That's Stockton. Yeah, they just barely touch, but you see he goes around all the way around 360 and then hits the outside wall right there.
Now they were racing for position at the time. That was for either 5th or 6th place as the field catches up to the caution truck. 4th caution of the day.
And so for those trucks that had not stopped during one of the previous cautions, they will be able to come in now and top off with fuel.
That will include, of course, Ron Hornaday, Rob Rizzo, and Boris Said. We're under caution here at Nazareth. We'll take a break and be right back. Raj.com for Lance Norrick. He's okay. Walked into the care center. Here's what happened.
Got a little touch from Michael Dawkin as they raced for position, and into the outside wall he went hard, and he really hit that wall. And we speculated, would Ron Hornaday come in? Wasn't much speculation because we knew that he was going to have to come in.
It was time.
And sure enough, he did.
You know, it was a good thing it wasn't a green flag stop because he did have some problems getting the fuel into this truck. It took quite a while for him to get it in there.
There's the dry brake receptacle going in and then having to be refitted. That Sammy Gonzalez jumped over the wall to help out and make sure they got all the fuel. And now Hornaday can make it to halftime. We're getting set to go back to green. And you're riding with Ron Hornaday. Pace truck is in. We're back under green. It's Sprague the leader, Mike Bliss, Rich Bickle, and Michael Dawkin.
And Ron Hornaday is in 22nd position. So got a tough little chore to try to get back up to the front in these last 28 laps.
And Ed, we were talking about track position. You can see 2 fast trucks right there leading right now. The Jack Sprague leading Bliss down the back straightaway. You can see Hornaday back in the traffic right now. He's going to have to work very hard to get back up front.
Hornaday pulling down on Brian Reffner. Back up front, Bliss keeps close tabs on Hornaday. Riding with Mike Bliss off turn 1 and into 2. And here's Hornaday now battling Morgan Shepherd.
Yeah, he's already picked up 3 positions.
Here's the problem, though. You see 2 trucks right in front of him. Where do you go? Outside, inside. They're going to race down the straightaway. Well, there you
go
have
between them. Wow.
I'll tell you, nice move by Billy Pouch down on the inside to give Hornaday room. He dropped down low, and Hornaday got past Morgan Shepherd. You're riding with Morgan as Hornaday has now climbed to 18th position. Mike Stefanik, who leads the points of both the Busch North and the Modified Series, says sometimes those trucks you're trying to get through, he calls them landmines. You never know when one of them's going to go off. So Hornaday still has to be careful and pick his way through. Here he comes up on Lonnie Rush.
Oh, wow, just a little touch there. Lonnie, I am down here.
Tickled the primer on that one. It didn't go off, but... And here's Kenny Irwin just ahead.
Well, that is a surprise to see that truck back on the racetrack. You can see the nose of Irwin's truck right there. He's motioning by right now.
42 laps down, Kenny Irwin is, so he's just trying to make up laps.
Here's Ralph.
Well, Lance Norrick has walked out of the infield care center. What happened to you, Lance?
I went into turn 2, and I think I got hit behind by on the blue truck. You know, it's too bad. The number 90 NHL truck is really running good. The guys have been working hard, and I hate it for the team to have to be out early.
But you're okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Norrick had a big Philadelphia Flyers logo on that truck today for the race in Pennsylvania. Halftime break is coming up in about 25 laps. They'll get a chance to bring these trucks in, put new tires on them, and make chassis adjustments without losing their track position. Now, we've had halftime for 2.5 seasons here. What do you think of it? Ned?
I like it. Of course, it was designed to help to keep costs down in this series. They don't have to take a full pit crew along with them when they go on the road. And most all of these truck racers are on the road pretty far away. And so I think it's good.
8th place battle here as Rick Corelli gets past Dave Rezendes, and so does Joe Ruttman. Buddy?
Yeah, I think the halftime is great. I think it enhances the competition to a great deal, and also gives the truck that might be just a little bit off a chance to do things, make it a lot better, keep the competition very, very close to the entire event.
That's the reason I like it. You get 2 chances at your race setup at the top of the day, and you get to change it all around for halftime, and that's very beneficial to the drivers and teams, especially that are seeing these tracks for the first time. You're riding with Jimmy Hensley. And now back up front, here is Jack Sprague, the leader, and we're told that all of these trucks can make it to halftime on fuel.
All these cautions we've had certainly help that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Here's Mike Bliss, who started on the pole. He's currently second.
And it's a long gap back to Rich Bickle. 3rd place truck and the point leader.
Right on his back bumper, or pretty close to him, is Michael Dawkin in the Dodge number 18.
Now Chuck Mound has lost a couple of truck lengths there to Dawkin, hanging on in 5th place.
Well, when you know you're stopping in 21 laps, if you're not racing for the lead, there's no point pushing the truck because you know you're going to get stopped. And a lot of people out there just really riding it out till the halfway.
Tony Raines and now Stacy Compton.
Stacy moving up through the field in the truck number 86. He's in 7th. Then it's ways back to the number 43 of Jimmy Hensley, who is in 8th place.
And right behind Hensley, Rick Corelli, who's had a good string of finishes these last few races. 3rd, then a 22nd, and then 4th at Bristol.
That's Joe Ruttman. You can see him dipping down into the dirt on the inside of the racetrack with the left front of the number 80 truck there.
Ruttman in 10th place, 11th. Here's Boris Said, driving for Irvin Simo Racing. Said works his way off turn 5.
And right behind him is Jay Sauter in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet of Richard Childress.
And that's David Green there in the 37 truck.
13th place for the Winston Cup regular and former Busch Series champ. Here's a driver we think a lot of, Rick Crawford from Alabama. He is really coming on in the rookie points. His last couple of races include a 6th, a 3rd, and a 6th.
Good race car driver, good truck driver also.
The next truck we'll see will be Dave Rezendes, truck number 35, the yellow one, having a good run.
He's in 15th place.
And he's carrying Larry the Lizard there.
Is that a live shot of Larry, or is that tape?
Taking it for a ride here today. And right behind him is the 16 truck of Ron Hornaday, who's already moved up to 16th. Remember, he was 22nd on the restart.
So Hornaday is mowing them down in an attempt to get back to the front before halftime, which comes along here in just about 17 laps. So Hornaday is 16th. 17th will be Dan Press in that blue and white Spears truck. Just ahead of him is the number 12. And that's Randy McDonald out of Ontario, driving for Bob Blake. He's a lap down. Here's Dan Press, 48 years old, Northwest Tour champ, former crew chief for Ron Hornaday out on the West Coast.
Press, of course, in 17th position, and right behind him, the 13 truck of Morgan Shepherd.
You're riding with Shepherd down the front straightaway here. As they head down to turn 1, you can see Shepherd running very well. Watch how close he gets to the ripple strips there, right out against the wall. Now you'll see the walkover here. They'll cut right back down on the white line, move out just a little bit, and that sets you up to get back to the bottom part of the racetrack. And now you start towards the back straightaway, right out against the wall, and downhill to turn 4.
Ned, a big adjustment for a Winston Cup regular like Morgan to hop into a truck and run some laps here?
He told me yesterday after he'd had some laps on the track, he said, boy, this is different. There's no doubt about it. But Morgan Shepherd has driven a lot of different types of race cars. I don't know that he was ever in open wheels other than go-karts, but he's driven just about every form of stock car, and he adjusted pretty quickly.
Shepherd is in 18th position. Like David Green and Billy Pouch, his first Truck Series race.
Talked to Rusty Wallace about the trucks, and he run here last year. He said it was one of the toughest divisions he'd ever drove in.
Lonnie Rush in the number 77. He's on the lead lap in 19th position and almost collects Morgan Shepherd there.
Morgan was all sideways getting into turn one.
That's Rob Rizzo in the picture as well, the Trans Am racer. And that takes you through the top 20. CBS Sports coverage of the Napa Auto Care 200 will continue after this message and a word from your local station. Something let go and a lot of smoke from that truck going down into turn number 4. And Toby climbs out after a short day. It has been 6 races now since Butler's last top 10 finish in this series. Show you what happened here.
He was coming down into turn 4, as you say, and you see the smoke let go as he starts into the turn, and then it really looks like he erupts as he gets on into the turn.
Ned, he was very, very lucky not to spin. You can see the oil coming out of the exhaust pipes and going right under the tires there. Nice job of holding that truck straight.
End of the day for Toby Butler, and we are now 7 laps from halftime, but we're going to get an indication of a restart next time by. A lot of racing in the month of July on CBS Sports, and it's coming to you starting from Milwaukee next Saturday, the Truck Series, and the Grand National Cars on Sunday next weekend, the Milwaukee 250. Then July 12th, the Louisville 225 for the Truck Series. 3 weeks, Colorado 250 out at Denver July 19th. And at the end of the month, we'll have the Grand Nationals and the first ever Gateway 300 at St. Louis. And on Sunday, July 27th, the IRL cars take on Charlotte Motor Speedway for 500 kilometers. Here's Dick Berggren.
Well, an interesting story on Billy Pauch. He is a driver that many people think is the most talented unsigned big league driver. And he's making his first start in the trucks today. And he's having a tough time with the rules. He missed the drivers' meeting this morning, or at least the first half of it. So NASCAR penalized him, put him in the back for that. And then during the running of the race itself, NASCAR had some conversation with him over a yellow flag about where he was supposed to be. Pauch didn't understand it. They brought him in, explained it to him there. So that was the second penalty. He is learning the rules the hard way. But that's not the best story on this team. Best story on this team is that the owner, Dick Greenfield, thought he was going to buy a truck that was complete. Ordered one for $45,000. Got surprised when he discovered turnkey meant no motor. He's $250,000 into it now. He's now got 3 motors, 2 trucks. This is his first race, and he says, and I got Pauch signed. I got him signed. Let's see.
Billy Pauch has won on the Syracuse Mile on the dirt, and he's won at Flemington, New Jersey on dirt and asphalt. But he's having a tough baptism to truck racing today. Off turn 4 and 5 and back to the start-finish line. Jack Sprague and Mike Bliss continue to run Chevy Ford very close together. Rich Bickle in 3rd. Michael Dawkins having a great run here in 4th. And Chuck Bown is up to 5th. Tony Raines with the Dodge in 6th. Stacy Compton's Ford in 7th. Jimmy Hensley 8th. Rick Corelli and Joe Ruttman your top 10.
You can see Rich Bickle there in 3rd. He is running a very, very smart race, Ned. I've watched him the whole race. He hadn't been in a compromise at all. He has been right by himself, as you say, looking at the big picture.
And that is trying to win the championship this year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Let's go to the pits and Ralph Shaheen.
Well, Andy Santerre started on the pole for the Busch North race earlier today, finished 5th, and now you're ready to get in a truck for Brian Cunningham. What's the story?
Well, they said Brian's getting a little overheated out there. It's a hot day here in Nazareth, and trucks are real hot inside, they say. So just going to relieve for him, and hopefully we can keep his truck out there and just get some points for him.
That was a 100-lap Busch North race, Mike, and he's getting ready to do another 100 laps here.
Andy Santerre and Mike Stefanik are 2 fellas racing Busch North that might well ought to be in Busch South, and maybe will in the near-distant future. A lot of side-by-side racing here.
Yeah, back in the pack where Ron Hornaday is on the outside there right now, the 31 truck trying to move up through. He's already taken Dave Resendez and Crawford. He's moved up to 14th place, so Ron Hornaday still picking them off when he can, but he's having to fight for everything he gets with this group of trucks.
It's Rick Crawford right behind the Napa Brakes camera in Ron Hornaday's Chevrolet. Hornaday up to 13th. Jay Sauter ahead of him. 3 laps from halftime. The halfway sign will come out at lap 100, and the caution the next time by. And Jack Sprague is extending his lead.
Well, like I said, if you're not leading, there's no point in pushing it right now. Everybody knows they're going to stop in just a couple of laps, so they're riding it out.
Slow roller out of turn 5 makes a cut down to pit road. That's Lonnie Rush, who started racing in quarter midgets in 1974 and won 162 out of 250 races. Impressive percentage.
Wow, it certainly is. What if a baseball player had that kind of batting average?
I'd say. He does take that truck to the garage, however. Hornaday has caught Jay Sauter. And we're at halfway. We should see the caution for halftime next time by. And Hornaday's, I thought he'd have a look at Sauter before we got to halftime here.
Well, any position he can get will be with that list that he'll have to pass when they restart this race.
You give Mr. Sauter a wake-up call there just a little bit right in the tailgate then.
And just ahead of them, Boris Said got into the back of the truck in front of him, Randy McDonald. Caution wave, spin, turn 5. That is Said.
Oh, stay up there.
Oof, and everybody gets by. The teams here use 2 spotters, one up in that turn 5 grandstand and another up in the grandstand outside of turn 2.
Here's a little fire coming out from underneath that truck.
Ned, with the 9-to-1 compression motor, you get a lot of fuel down in the exhaust, and when he spun there, it run down the pipes, and that's what you see. It wasn't a real fire of any kind.
So once he fired it up, it put the fire out, he drives away.
Well, that's an exciting end of the first half.
Yeah.
With Jack Sprague the leader, Mike Bliss in second, Rich Bickle in third, Michael Dokken in fourth, fifth Chuck Bound, sixth Tony Raines, seventh Stacy Compton, and Jimmy Hensley, Rick Corelli, and Joe Ruttman, the top 10. Jay Sauter moved up to 11th on that 101st lap, and Ron Hornaday has climbed to 12th. So the pace car will lead everyone down pit road. When the last truck stops in its pit stall, they'll have 5 minutes to make adjustments and repairs. And we'll be back to cover halftime here at the Nazareth Mile right after this word.
By Mobil 1 100% synthetic motor oil. Nothing outperforms Mobil 1.
We're at halftime in Nazareth, Pennsylvania after the 101 laps. 3 leaders in this race, 3 lead changes, average speed 98.5 miles an hour, slowed by 6 caution periods for 22 laps. Off the track in the garage area, Toby Butler, Lance Norwick, and Bob Keselowski. There are the reasons why. Now, just as we came around to take the caution for halftime, what would Boris have said about this, buddy?
Well, you see him going down there. He just gets the back end out on the truck, and around goes Boris Said. No help whatsoever. Did all that by himself.
And nice job, especially by Rob Risso there, to miss him on the inside. So pit stops are underway. Here's Ralph Shaheen.
Mike Bliss pitted. He is the second place truck right now. And Mike, what are you going to do to this machine?
We're going to try to make it turn a little bit better. It's not turning real good off the corners. We're going to try to tune the motor up a little bit. We can't run with that 24 down straightaway. He's just pulling us down straightaway. But all in all, we're going to work on it. The guys are doing a heck of a job so far, and we'll just see what happens after this.
How about your pit strategy with this next stop?
We're going to try to, probably pit early as soon as the yellow comes out after 25 and then come on in and get fuel.
Dick Berggren.
Now, this is the guy they call Mile Track Jack. He's led some 700 laps this year, 95% of them on miles. He took 2 of these bags of ice in his chest. They moved the fenders out. They adjusted the shock on the back of this thing. What are they trying to do, Jack?
Well, I tell you what, these guys have done a great job on this Quaker State show. It's a brand new truck. I'm just a little bit loose in and a little bit loose off, but all in all, it's running really well, and just trying to keep ourselves cool and stay out of trouble and try to win this thing for Quaker State and Hendrick Motorsports.
Well, he's running good so far. Let's go up and try to catch Ron Hornaday. They're putting up the window net in his truck, but let's see if we can quick get a word in with him. Ron, how's the truck?
We're not going to change the truck. We just thought they were going to run out of fuel. We just waited too long to get some fuel, and Napa Chevrolet's all right. We just lost some track position.
How will that fuel deal affect you in the second half?
We'll find out. Maybe we get to stop early. We'll know what it does.
Terrell Shaheen.
Michael Dokken is 4th. Michael, what changes did you make?
Just try to loosen up a little bit. It was a little bit tight. Nothing major. It felt pretty good in the first half, so we'll just go out there and see what we can do at the end.
Well, now Michael's teammate is Tony Raines. He is in the 19 truck. He is pitted just up in front of him. We'll see if we can slide the microphone in here and get a word if they'll open the window net for us real quick. Pop this out just like this. Tony, what are you going to do to this truck? Anything?